In the Browns' win last week against the Philadelphia Eagles, there were a couple of things that jumped off the page, right? Olivier Vernon playing much better, Takitaki playing much better, Denzel Ward playing much better. Also, there were some things I felt like fell underneath the radar. Again, I think Baker Mayfield for about 3 straight weeks here has had good play that's fell under the radar because it doesn't necessarily show up in stat sheets, but it definitely shows up in the win column. So what I'm going to do today is go through the film on Philadelphia, look at some of the things Olivier Vernon did, look at some of the things that Baker Mayfield did, and even Nick Chubb, and see what can carry over into next week and the weeks coming after that. But before I get into that, I have to give a shout out to my Patreon subscribers. All Patreon members get the ability to call in to the post-game live show. Also, people who get the dog check tier on Patreon get special shout outs at the beginning of these videos. And that starts with Michael Mateek, Greg Ealer, Seth Harrison, Corporal, Nick Lopez, Nick Nasty, Mandela Moore, the only Browns fan in Wisconsin, Batman, Jake Phillips, Rush Shear, Barack Kumar, John Alvord, Masayua, Buds of Roland, Ethan Rindauer, James Nemo, Mac House, Reeb Herbst, Justin Cole, Philip Wilcoxon, Marie Vivert, Timothy McClure, Keith Anderson, Joshua Steele, Sean Barron, Goggles Pizzulo, Dom Gazzulo, Ian Whitaker, Colin 216, Anthony Latham, Christian, Matt Bond, Dave Strong, Michael Stone, Soul Train, Charles Work, Dan in West Texas, Billy, Michael Hodenack, Jared Austin, Patrick F. Austin Z, Mark Burnett, Andre Griffin, Otis Wolf, IT Rex, Austin Bolin, Jesus Serrano, Joshua Paulus, Chris Foams, the Picktown Browns backers, Mark Kahn, Max Al Dojo, Beerman 069, Seth Miller, and CK. Thank you guys for supporting the Patreon page. It is a massive help and a massive piece of stability that really does help this channel grow. Your support is instrumental to this channel's health. But now I'm going to jump into the Batcave. Let's break down this film. Hey, what's up? Quincy Carrier here in the Batcave, here for you guys again to break down some film. We're going to talk about some of the good things that we saw out of the young players here. But before I get into this, I want to make sure y'all show some love. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding that notification bell so you can be notified. And also so you don't miss out on any content. If you love Browns content or just football in general, this is a great place to hang out. We do a ton of football stuff. We have a lot of fun here. I upload regularly, so check it out that way. Now, without further ado, let's get into this. And the first thing we're going to look at is some Olivier Vernon appreciation. Now, those who have watched this channel for a long time know that I have had a rocky relationship with Olivier Vernon. I have not felt like he has performed. I have not felt like he has played at the level or at the effort level that he was marketed to us as being. And I think now, finally, in this game and in the last few weeks, we're seeing that effort be the difference for Olivier Vernon. It seems like he has more juice. I don't know if this is him being healthy, but it's definitely making a difference out there, and it's why he's looked more like a difference maker. Olivier Vernon going to be right here lined up with Jason Peters. We're going to watch his first pass rush. And that's a good power rush, right? This is what Olivier Vernon does well. He's a guy who he can get you. He can move you if he's willing to. He can move you, and he's quick with the hands. You see the hands right here, the rip, at releasing you. And that's how he gets his sack here. And again, a lot of people are going to assume, because the Eagles aren't a great team, they're 2-6, that the Browns' success against the Eagles was because the offensive line is terrible. And that is true if we're talking about the two guys right here, right? Like these two guys who actually did not have bad games. These two guys are not good. Let me write that down. Those two guys, not good. This is sloppy. I'm writing this with my mouse. But those two guys are not good. This guy right here, that's a really good player. That is one of the best right tackles in football. His name is Lane Johnson. He's one of the best right tackles in football. not just in previous years, but in this year, he has been one of the better right tackles in football. He is not a bum. He held TJ Watt to a pretty good game. Just check the numbers that TJ Watt did not have against the Eagles. You'll see how good Lane Johnson is. This guy is Jason Peters. Now, Jason Peters was absolute Duke at the beginning of the season, but he has played much better recently. He's been one of their better tackles. If you think PFF grades mean anything, he's actually been pretty good. And this dude, this is Jason Kelce. Yeah, the other Kelce brother, Pro Bowl center. These guys, good football players, not trash. So the people who want to dismiss what the defensive line did against the Eagles because the Eagles don't have a great record, that's a lazy take. It's not really taking in what that offensive line was made out of. Now, you could give me the argument that Jason Kelce got injured. He couldn't really move his right arm after the first half, and that absolutely is true. But we aren't talking about Larry Ogunjobi and Sheldon Richardson having big games. We're talking about the two guys at the edge rush positions, Adrian Claiborne and Olivier Vernon, having big games against good competition. I mean, Lane Johnson shut down TJ Watt earlier this year. TJ Watt's worst PFF grade was against Lane Johnson. Not a joke here. Jason Peters has been good the last few weeks, and he's been a rather more solid than he has been. He had the one really bad game against Cincinnati, but other than that, he's been fine. So I don't think it's because of bad tackle play that the Browns were able to get this. And again, it's the one thing Olivier Vernon hasn't done in Cleveland, right? He just hasn't looked like he's had that extra step, that extra will in him to make these plays. Again, he's a will guy, not a skill guy. Miles is a skill guy. He's a will guy. And this is where he's going to get those extra seconds to make these plays, and he makes the plays. I like to see this out of Olivier Vernon. We're going to go to a second sack here, and it's going to be much the same story. And again, this is not against a bum. This is on the right side of the offensive line against Lane Johnson, one of the best right tackles in football. Again, Lane Johnson, no joke. Miles would have had a full assignment against Lane Johnson. Look what Olivier does to him. Moves him and then releases him with ease. That's the Olivier Vernon we need to see. Look, Olivier Vernon is not going to be like Myles Garrett, where Myles is out here Euro-stepping guys and just being incredibly quick off the ball and finesse. That's not what Olivier is going to do. Olivier is a strong, powerful, bull rush, effort pass rusher, and he just has not had the effort in the last few years. This year, the last few games, the effort is there that was there in New York. Now, he might just be healthy. That might be a thing about it, but this is what you want to see. Again, look at the effort here. He maintains this strength in his base through 3 different chips, right? 84 off the line, tries to get him, nothing. A little skinny guy ain't going to do nothing. Olivier Vernon there. And then this guard tries to chip him just a little bit, goes at his base, and then Olivier actually uses that to an advantage to kind of get Peters' hands off of him and then make the safety play. Great play by Olivier Vernon. You want to see that effort. If that effort's there for the rest of the season and Myles Garrett comes back, Browns are going to have a pretty good defensive line, at least a pretty good pass rush, because that's all they've needed. They just need somebody to be strong and give that effort on the other side of the ball. Now we're going to talk about Takitaki and the flaws that Takitaki has and the strengths that Takitaki has, because those two things are definitely apparent and definitely an issue and a benefit at the same time. Now, this is Takitaki here in the middle. This is a run play, and this is where Takitaki is good. He's really good against the run. I'm going to show you why, and then I'm going to show you why that's also why he's terrible against the pass. But he gets the run play here, sees the hole, shoots it, boom. Good play by Takitaki, gets a tackle for loss, showing out, doing this thing. He's an energy guy. Love to see it. And again here, it's a pretty good read. You know, it's right there in front of him, right? The play opens up. He sees it. He does not decide to roll with the stretch. He knows that Ronnie Harrison's going to take care of that, and he's going to just settle in, cut in, and make the play. That's what you want to see, aggressive play by the linebacker on this play here. Now, this is the pick six, and the pick six is great because he caught it, and it ended up not going against the Browns here, but I'm going to show you why this pick six is actually an example of why Takitaki is not great in pass coverage, even though it's going to sound asinine because he did get a pick six here, but I'm going to show you exactly why might not have been the best thing why Takitaki was in that position. Now, what happens on this play is that Denzel Ward kind of reads it. He blitzes, causes pressure, and then Carson Wentz kind of throws this ball up in this area, but you're going to see something develop that's going to show you why Takitaki was lucky that sequence of events happened, or else he would have gotten yelled at on the sidelines because of what he did here. Now, Takitaki on this play right here. I want you to watch Takitaki this whole play, and I'm going to show you what he didn't do that could have been catastrophic, and then we're going to go. All right, so right here, you watch Takitaki. He gets a pick six. All right, cool. Good play, right? Now let's rewind this. What happened on this play? And what went wrong for Carson Wentz was that, Denzel Ward didn't have anybody to cover and just snuck in there and disrupted the throw, right? Now, for whatever reason, and this is why Carson Wentz is getting calls to be benched, because this is just awful, right? I would kill Baker if he did this. So Carson Wentz has to see that Takitaki completely bit on this run fake, right? He's aggressive. That's what he's going to do. That's the risk you have by having him out there in passing downs, is that he's going to be really aggressive. You see Takitaki bite really, really hard, which then, I know you see what I see, right? This man is wide open. Absolutely wide open. This man is. All day. Look, nobody. This is Andrew Sadejo. This guy's worried about him. And this dude, he has literally all this space. He is wide open. Takitaki isn't even aware of I think that's Jalen Reagor's presence right there. And for whatever reason, inexplicably, Carson Wentz, who is looking in this direction, just doesn't see it. That's awful. All right. And by the way, look where Denzel Ward is. He's nowhere near making that play yet. So Carson Wentz could have made that throw, gotten a bunch of yards, and made Takitaki look bad. That could have been really bad for the Cleveland Browns because he is wide open. But instead, for whatever reason, he looks this guy off. Like, look at his helmet. And we're going to see it from the end zone camera. But look at his helmet. He looks off Jalen Reagor, who's wide open, and throws the out. That's double covered because Sione Takitaki never left worrying about Miles Sanders. And then, of course, this gets picked off. Because it's the worst decision you can make on the football field. Now, Carson Wentz bailed Sione Takitaki out. Denzel Ward also made a play. So Denzel Ward and Carson Wentz bailed Takitaki out. But let me just show you how bad of a decision this was by Carson Wentz. This is the stuff that gets you like an automatic fail for this game. Because you see Takitaki right here. This is Carson Wentz. He has to see this. Look at this. How does he not see this? Look at where his helmet is. I'm not making this up, right? He's not looking here. He's not looking here. He is looking right at Takitaki. It's almost as if the read is, hey, if 44 crashes down and worries about the run like we think he's going to do, because on tape we've seen that Takitaki's very aggressive, hit him right now. Throw the ball to him right now. That has to be the read for this play. I don't think Doug Peterson's that incompetent. He did win a Super Bowl with a different quarterback here. And Wentz looks at it, knows it's there, has to, and then look at this, man. No pocket awareness, by the way. Like, Denzel Ward's running right at him, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to take my eyes off the guy that's wide open and throw the flat. When you saw Takitaki fall for the fake. I just can't explain how bad this is. This is so bad. If I was an Eagles fan, I'd be furious. That's lose your job worthy right there for Carson Wentz. All right, now we've done enough talking about the Eagles quarterback situation. Let's talk about the Browns quarterback situation, right? Let's talk about what Baker Mayfield did in this game, because I've said a long time, Baker Mayfield the last 3 weeks have had good games, but games that aren't necessarily going to show up on the stat sheet. And I think this week was another example of this. You're going to see here a play where I think Baker Mayfield made the right decision. Top his drop. He decides to throw this, the seam to David Njoku. There is a little bit of a window here. It's a tight window, but he actually hits the window. David Njoku just doesn't catch it, but he has the window there, right? The linebacker's worried about everything in front of him. This guy's worried about everything in front of him. You got the linebacker, you got the safety in the middle of the field. He has his eyes towards Hooper, so you don't want to throw it there because that's going to probably be picked if you throw it anything but perfect. But if you try to fit it over top here to David Njoku, that can definitely work. You see nothing else is open. That's covered. Hooper, we talked about how that's kind of covered because of where the eyes of the safety are. That you can get like a yard out of that. It's not really a great option here. And depending on the route, you might be able to get something here, but yeah, I doubt it. So he makes the right decision. It's a good football. That's right where it needs to be. David Njoku's a big, tall guy. He can make those catches. He should make those catches. He just doesn't. And that's part of the David Njoku experience, right? We had the streaky 2 good games where he was catching everything, and, now we're getting the other side of the David Njoku experience, which is fine. I'm not going to harp on it. We know what David Njoku is and what he isn't as a player. This is one of the things he's not. Consistent catcher at the football. That's a catch for David Njoku most of the time. He does not catch it. And it's dangerous when you have drop balls in that part of the field because those will always end up as interceptions if the ball bounces the wrong way. But again, that's an example of Baker. Good throw, just didn't get bailed out by his teammates. That's whatever. This is what I mean by Baker has had big games and big plays and moments where it's not going to show up in the stat sheet, right? Because this is just going to be about a 13-yard play, but this is an absolutely huge play. It's 3rd and 12. You're backed up on your own goal line. You need space to punt this ball. You need to be able to flip field. You need to be able to keep this possession alive. And Baker, all the way in his end zone, gets pressure, stands in there, makes a good throw to Kadero Hodge, and gets that first down. Baker is not asked to carry the load as far as yardage goes on offense as much as any other quarterback, so he gets a bad rap for being carried for that. But what he is asked to do is bail the team out when you get a situation like this game where the running game can't carry you from down to down. They'll get you in the fourth quarter and help you out there, but they weren't carrying the Browns from down to down. Baker had to make plays like this. And again, this is a good play by Baker Mayfield. Again, this is Philadelphia Eagles pass rush, the best in the NFL according to Pro Football Focus, but one of the best. They got Malik Jackson, Fletcher Cox, a lot of good players on that defensive line. Baker stays tall, stays calm, makes a good throw to his big, tall receiver, Kadero Hodge, and gets the chains rolling on a big 3rd and 12. That's what you need out of your quarterback. All right, so this next play here, we're going to talk about Baker Mayfield showing more aggressiveness. And again, I think there are a bunch of small signs here that are going to lead itself to a couple of big games for Baker Mayfield because he's playing well. It's just 1 or 2 things just don't go his way, so it doesn't show up necessarily in the stat sheet. But he's playing well, he's playing confident, he's playing aggressive, and this is one of those things, right? We saw this countless times early in the season where Baker would just, on this concept, we've seen this a million times, right, where the tight end rolls out, you got a guy down here, where Baker would just take the easy one, which is, Hooper right here, get the quick first down, take the easy throw. But now we're seeing Baker get more confident in the system, and he's going to make the aggressive play here, which ends up being a big play here. Almost could have been a touchdown if Baker could have threw just a tad more of a tighter ball. Well, actually, I go back and forth on it because there's separation here, but Rashard Higgins just isn't that fast. So I don't know. But I would just love to see him hit Rashard Higgins in stride here. Now, that's a lot to ask. Baker is throwing this football on the run, and this is going kind of across his chest against his momentum. So, again, this is a tough football to throw. But it would have been real nice if he could have hit him in stride. That's not a miss by any means, but it's a great play by Baker. Could have been an even better play. But, that's the aggressiveness that I like to see out of Baker Mayfield that makes him special, that makes him a game changer. You're seeing him, not just be comfortable with the open check down, but I'm going to hit my guy right here who's also open down the field because it's there. I don't care if it's the rain. That's what you want to see out of Baker Mayfield. Now, this is what you don't want to see out of Baker Mayfield. Now, I've talked a lot about red zone Baker. He has let me down in the last 2 games in the red zone. The last 3 games in the red zone, he's not been red zone Baker. But we know Red Zone Baker, one of the better red zone quarterbacks in the NFL. Even if you add his bad 2019 year, he still holds up as one of the better red zone quarterbacks in the NFL. This is a miss, right? That's there. That's an easy throw. Normally Baker makes that. Look at that. That's an easy window right here. That ball should be towards that football helmet, but Baker just throws a bad ball here, right? The window for that ball, let me show you guys, is right here. Baker knows better to throw that ball right there. He has all the space in the world to get it there. That should be an easy loft. I've seen Baker make that throw countless times. He just doesn't make it for whatever reason. And I think that got into his head. He got the pass interference call, and I think that got into his head a little bit and messed with his confidence, which I don't like to see. Because, again, you see how he misses here, and then we'll see how he misses on the other throw, which is kind of indicative of what happened here, right? Now, some people are going to give him the excuse when Malik Jackson was chasing him down, he had to throw it high. Nah, son. Nah. He should have made that throw. Baker, he had the window. He should have made that throw. That's just a bad play right there by Baker Mayfield. Hooper should have never had to come back to catch that. All right, and this is the other miss, right? On the red zone, he needed this one. Luckily, didn't end up mattering. The Browns won the game, but, wide open. Look at this. Wide open. Baker already has his feet set. He has the window. Again, Baker should know. Let's just put this ball right here. You know what I mean? All this green grass. Just put it right there. And I think he had the other play in his head, and he let that affect him. And sometimes that happens with Baker. It's really frustrating. He sometimes let the mental get to him. And, he ends up not making the play here. And some could argue he could have probably just hit Harrison Bryant here, right? Like, he could have hit Harrison Bryant here. He could have did a number of things. But ultimately, he missed this throw to Austin Hooper. Baker got to make that throw. You know what I mean? There's really no excuse for it. I know people are going to say that the defender was in his face, but that ball was out of his hand before those defenders were really in his passing lane, as we're going to see here on the play action. Good fake. He's already made the decision to throw this ball, and by the time that ball's out of his hands, right, like Malik Jackson, well, not Malik Jackson. Yeah, is that Malik Jackson? I don't know. But by the time that ball is about to be out of his hands, now he's kind of disrupting the lane, so it really didn't affect anything. He should have made that throw. There's no excuse for that. He should have made that throw. Baker's got to be a little bit better than that, right? But he doesn't make those mistakes in the red zone specifically often, so I'll give him a pass on it. And then he comes back, and he makes some absolutely amazing throws. This one, I didn't hear anybody talk about it. This is an amazing throw. Oh, my goodness. From the pocket, staying calm, clean pocket. Shout out to the offensive line. Batonio gets beat late there, but that's more than enough time to get Baker to make this incredible throw to Austin Hooper here, and that's a big play here. Again, you would love to see him have that kind of accuracy in the red zone like he normally does, but Baker can sometimes get in his own head about things, and that's one of the things I hope he fixes as his career goes on. But this is a good play, good drop, footwork, stays calm, and then beautiful throw. That's good stuff by Baker Mayfield. That's good quarterbacking by Baker Mayfield. And then you have this play by Kadero Hodge, which is another big play here, right? Where Baker needs a big play. They need to get downfield. The offense was kind of stagnant at this point in the game. You get the play action, and what does Baker do? On the run here, moving. Usually he likes to hit Njoku coming down the middle of the field because it's usually a safer ball. But Baker keeps his eyes open, sees that this corner abandons because he knows Baker's tendency to hit this man. He abandons him because it's not Odell Beckham, so we shouldn't care about him, right? So he abandons, crashes down here, and then that's going to leave Kadero Hodge wide open, and then he's going to throw a beautiful dart here to Kadero Hodge in stride. And this is a great play by Baker Mayfield. Again, gets his feet set. He's really good at that. Throws a dart. Look at that. And then gets it downfield. And Kadero Hodge is really excited. He had a good game, Kadero Hodge, by the way. Look how good Baker is with these fakes, by the way. I want you guys to take notice of this. Like, just watch the small details here with the fake, with the hand. He kind of like kills his body momentum. It completely sells the run so hard. Like, all these guys are buying it. And then boom, Baker pops out with the ball. Look at this guy. look at 57 here. Watch 57 how bad Baker fakes him out. Small details, but they matter because they get you a little bit extra space, right? The small details matter, and it's probably why that corner came up. He probably thought it was a run too. And boom, it just completely caught him off guard. Baker does some of the best play action fakes in football. Like, I almost thought he gave Chubb the ball right there. And then his linebacker's like, oh, come on, man. It's good stuff, man. You got to appreciate the small details Baker Mayfield puts into the game here. And then now we're just going to have fun with it. We're going to admire Nick Chubb for the next few minutes. So just get ready for that. There's nothing here. I just want to point out, nothing here in this initial run for Nick Chubb. Nothing. Like, maybe he could cut outside, but like it's not like Jedrick Wills has great leverage. So if Nick Chubb cut out, that DN's definitely going to tackle him. So Nick Chubb does what Nick Chubb does and makes something out of absolutely nothing. Kills a man. That's murder. That's going to get me demonetized because that's got to be against TOS, right? Like, oh, man. By the way, that's a defensive lineman. Derrick Henry did that to Josh Norman, little itty-bitty Josh Norman. That's not little itty-bitty anybody. That's a big old defensive lineman that Nick Chubb just did like that. Man, misses a complete tackle right here. You think he's down right here, right? He's got to be down right here. Nope. And he almost scores. A play where he should have probably lost 3 yards. He takes to the 5-yard line, get 15 yards out of. Don't ever tell me that all running backs are built the same and replaceable when Nick Chubb's out here doing stuff like this. Oh, man. Let's just run that one back. That's a spike. That's a Gronk's. That's one of them Harrison Bryant spikes. Look at that. Put him in the dirt. That's disrespectful. Somebody make that their screensaver. Oh, man. Nick Chubb stays on his feet, too. Just hard to tackle. Just so hard to tackle. All right, y'all, but that's it for this week's film review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought down in the comment section below. But again, guys, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Have a good night.